Hold on, give me 1 second, guys. Just got to fix this real quick. I apologize. I gotta hit shift. Alt shift.
Yes, so you can
Give me a damn minute here. There we go. Sorry about that, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? Week 1 is in the books. Of course. Of course. What? Well, we'll get to that. I don't have much to talk about. I watched one game and I quit watching football after that. Um, we'll look at some scores here. I fucking hate NFL.com. Sorry, NFL.com sucks
Oh, I could have told you that one.
because it's slow as shit. All right.
Yep.
All right. Let's start off with the Bills at the Rams. I will say this right now. The Bills are really good. Just goes to show how shitty the Super Bowl was last year.
Right. Yep.
Neither team deserved to be in that game. They got lucky because the Bengals lose to the Steelers.
Yep.
How good is Joe Burrow? Motherfucker threw 4 interceptions. Now, it's against Steelers defense, which is also always very good. However, excuses are like assholes. Everybody's got one, and all of them stink.
I'm gonna steal that from you.
Go ahead. Go ahead, use it. I ain't got it copyrighted yet. Eagles. Rayshawn, they're your team. You said you seen the highlights of it and stuff. What do you got?
Okay, so Jalen Hurts, he's a good runner. If he want to be a running back, let somebody else take that quarterback position. He still needs to work on throwing.
Here's the thing with, and I've said this, it's going to take some time. Jalen Hurts is a project. He is not a polished quarterback.
Right. Okay.
So who did they have? They had Carson Wentz. They brought Carson Wentz in. Carson Wentz was there. Carson Wentz got hurt. And then because he was hurt all the time, they went their separate ways. And they had nothing else to fall back on. They didn't have a quarterback. And like I said, he's going to be a project. He is not going to be a polished. It's going to take him a couple of years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is he going to get better this year? He should. He should progress.
Yeah, you got the receivers to start throwing the ball.
I don't know what he had for statistics. Let me look at it. Real quick. Well, I mean, he was 18 of 32 for 243 yards. I mean, he could work on his accuracy.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand that, but 18 out of 32 back in 96, 97 was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
Because that is almost 60%. If you were throwing at 60% at that time, you're a pretty good quarterback. Like Brett Favre on a typical, and he had Hall of Fame numbers. A lot of the times he would be 20 out of 38 or, and that's just a little over 50%.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to say that Jalen Hurts is bad. And yeah, look at this. I mean, he had 17 carries for 90 yards. The system that Philadelphia has in place suits him. It's just going to take some time for him to develop into that guy. And trust, he's got A.J. Brown. I mean, the guy had 10 catches for 155 yards. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say the Eagles are going to be a running team
Right.
with a running quarterback. They're going to throw the ball, but they're not going to throw the ball. They're not going to fling it all over the field.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not going to see that from Philadelphia. I don't even think you'll see that from Philadelphia if they had a quarterback. Like, I mean, you might see it with Aaron Rodgers, but a developed quarterback. I mean, there's only a few quarterbacks where you just give him the ball and let him fling it all over the field. You don't just. This is why Chicago sucks. Sorry. Y'all seen the chat. I disagree with NG. I don't know what the fuck he's watching. If anybody thinks that fucking Chicago is any good, it was in a rainy. That game could have gone either way. That game could have gone either way, though. It just so happened. Hold on. It just so happened that the Bears capitalized on mistakes that the 49ers made.
Yeah.
It's not that the 49ers are bad. They just made mistakes. It was a rainy field. Yes, both of them are playing in it. But I'm not going to. My thing is, if Chicago is so good, how come they're underdogs by 9.5 points against Green Bay this week?
Mm-hmm.
When you have a quarterback that throws 8 for 17 for 121 yards,
yeah,
you're not trusting. This guy's not trusting his quarterback. I don't know what they're doing in Chicago. Chicago is the worst team in the NFC North. Mark my words.
Saying something.
Again, the Bears and the 49ers, 19-10. I'd seen towards the end of that game because I took care of some house chores this weekend. I gave Heather a break, even though she doesn't do anything anyway. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I joke. Again, the Steelers beat the Bengals 23-20 in overtime. The Dolphins. Everybody's saying that Tua Tagovailoa is the second coming of Jesus Christ. Nah. I mean, when you throw short and not deep, yeah, you're going to be fucking have 70% completion rate. Yeah. Come on, man. Shut the fuck up.
But this
I'm going to say this right now, and Tim, you're probably going to be like, you're wrong, but I don't think New England's that good.
Anymore. I'm not disagreeing with you right now.
They just do not. I don't know if Mac Jones has got the sophomore blues. I don't know if he's. I said it.
Not just that. Something didn't a lot of play up around here is the fact that Kendrick Bourne didn't play at all. Played minimal snaps in that game.
So here's the problem that I have. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I didn't watch the game.
No.
But when it sounds like an excuse to me. Mac Jones is, hear me out. Mac Jones is supposed to be the second coming, another guy who's supposed to be the second coming of Tom Brady, right? That's what everybody's been saying around here. If he's that fucking good, he shouldn't worry if Kendrick Bourne is playing or not, right? Would Tom Brady? I know you're not. Would Tom Brady give two shits if Kendrick Bourne was playing or not? Is my point.
He probably when he was on the ball anyways.
I mean, I can't, and I heard that. Well, he didn't have all of his weapons. Would Tom Brady care? Would Tom Brady care? Okay.
And I'm not saying he didn't. The reason why they lost is he didn't have all of his weapons. I'm trying to figure out what the hell the Patriots coaching staff is doing, because you have a guy that had a good rapport with Mac Jones and just sitting him on the bench, and then he goes in with a 40-yard completion.
Hold on. Why was he sitting on the bench? We don't
believe that to the Carolina preseason game that he was late to a meeting.
You can't. Then that's his fault. Don't blame the coaches.
Yeah, I know.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying you're wrong. I didn't watch the game. I don't know what's going on in New England because fuck New England. I don't care. Sorry. It's just the way I am. But if he broke a rule, Bill Belichick doesn't fuck around. He doesn't give a shit who you are.
No, he doesn't.
If Tom Brady would have done that, he probably would have benched him. Just
might have, yeah.
No, I think he would have.
He definitely would have.
I think he would have.
At least tried.
He might have sat him for a series or two, because Bill Belichick is all about discipline. If you don't want to act like a professional, then you don't play.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I'm saying. So you watched that game. It's just the offense just wasn't in sync, or
the offense wasn't in sync, and they just.
And then when I get to Green Bay, that's exactly. And I'll talk about it. I'll explain why, and it's not because Green Bay is bad, and it's not because Devontae Adams isn't there. I heard that all fucking game long, and I fucking wanted to jump through the screen and punch the fucking guy in the fucking mouth. I'm like, dude, Devontae Adams has nothing to fucking do with it. Nothing. No. And I'll tell you why he had nothing to fucking do with it. Keep in mind, Green Bay had never lost a game without Devontae Adams in the lineup. This is the first loss they've had without Devontae Adams in the lineup.
Yeah.
So people need to shut the fuck up about fucking Devontae Adams not being there for Aaron Rodgers. That wasn't the fucking case. I can tell you what it was, and I'll get to it when I get to there. The Browns and the Panthers. Panthers put up a fight, man.
Yes.
I think, and I'm gonna say this a lot this year with the Panthers. I think because of who is a fan of them, I think Bobbitt had a lot to do with that. Just if you think about it, the Panthers weren't supposed to be even in this game, and they showed a lot of fight and demeanor. And they lost by 2. They lost on a field goal. In fact, they had the lead until the final seconds.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield.
Colts
He's a serviceable quarterback.
Baker Mayfield, I mean, he is, but he is not a superstar. He's not. I agree with you. I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying everybody says he's a superstar. No, he's serviceable. I think if Sam Darnold was in there, they'd probably have the same outcome. I don't think Baker Mayfield is that much better than Sam Darnold. There's not that much of a difference between the two.
Not that much. They might have lost by a little more.
No. I don't think. I actually think Sam Darnold is better than Baker Mayfield. I really do.
Yeah, Sam Darnold only had one problem was he was drafted by the Jets.
Exactly. Colts and Texans. Fuck happened there? Almost made me look like a fucking fool. At least they tied. So I'm assuming I don't think the Colts are that good. The AFC South in general sucks.
Yeah,
I'm thinking.
It does.
I mean, nobody has a win in that division. That might actually be the worst division in football. You might have a team that finishes under 500 in that division. That's how bad that division is.
That was the NFC East.
No, that's AFC South.
Oh no, the NFC East is pretty tough. It's going to be
they would beat the crap out of each other, and a team would either go in at 500 or.
What? No.
I don't need you to come after the NFC East. You know why? Eagles on that team, okay? I don't want to hear it tonight.
No, listen. And I know you're kidding, but I think that I think the AFC, every team in the AFC South may struggle against everybody else but themselves.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. I think the Eagles will probably go 10-7, 11-6 maybe.
Recently, I'm saying yes.
I think they're only going to have one team that makes playoffs, unless if the Cowboys wake up and actually show their true fucking talent.
No, they dead.
Well, I don't know if they're dead, but
the Giants is coming in second place this year.
Watch it, dude.
I think the Giants might come in second place.
No.
Possible.
The Giants got away with one. They aren't very good.
Oh,
Again, look at who they played.
AFC South.
They played the Titans.
Ugh.
They're in the AFC South. Like I said, I think the AFC South is just straight up going to fucking struggle this year. Saints at the Falcons. Falcons up to their usual. We have a good lead, but we're gonna lose.
Yo, I was so surprised.
I wasn't. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming. It's just a matter of time. Saints won that one 27-26 on a last second field goal. Yes?
I'm not sure about that.
I know that they took a field goal to win the game. They were down 26-24. And Will Lutz kicked the field goal at the end. I think he kicked the field goal.
It wasn't the last second.
Well, it was you know,
it was a go ahead.
It was a go ahead field goal and the Falcons didn't do anything with the ball.
Yeah. The Falcons tried to make I think it was a 63-yarder or something like that.
I don't know. We'll get to last night's game.
Mm-hmm.
They did watch that. I'm gonna wait for Heather to get in here because, well, I'm gonna talk about another game, the game that was going on that's on the same line as this one. Again, another AFC South team. Washington beats the Jaguars 28-22. Jaguars will put up a fight, but again, they aren't very good yet. They will get there.
Yeah.
That number one pick, I don't know what's his name, Javon Walker. The interception that he had, that guy's wingspan made that play. I did see that. That guy is athletic as hell. He deserved to be the number one pick. I was questioning it, but after seeing it, I don't know, man. He looked pretty good to me. I'll wait for Heather. Heather. Oh my God. Well, I'm already. All right, I'll get to the Packers Vikings, even though we're done with the fucking the new games. I'll talk about the Vikings and the Packers. I'll talk about the game. The Packers lost this game because they don't fucking play their starters in the preseason. I'm telling you, if Green Bay would have played their starters at all in the preseason, just so Aaron Rodgers can get used to the tempo of what his receivers are doing, I think it would have been a different outcome. That drop pass by Christian Watson happens. It happens. The guy's a fucking rookie. This is his first NFL game. Yeah, he was wide open. Everybody's like wanting him cut and trade him. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Please. Just, if you think you can do better, you get out there and you do it. It is not easy to catch a 50-yard ball on a dime. Yeah, he put it in his hands, but he's a rookie. He'll get it. It'll happen. He'll get there. He recovered from it. They gave him the ball. Green Bay just looked out of sync, out of sorts. It's not as bad as it was last year, but it was bad. They just did look out of sorts. Was I frustrated? And the whole time I'm watching this game, I'm like, this is why you need to play your fucking starters, Matt LaFleur. You need to play your starters in preseason so they can get used to the fucking flow of the game. I don't give a fuck if they've been in the league for 10 years. Everybody gets a year older. I hate that everybody was catastrophizing after that. All Packer fans do is catastrophize. And it's really frustrating.
You said this is an ongoing thing where they don't play their starters?
They did this. They've done this 3 years in a row.
Oh. And they don't learn from it?
But the Vikings are a good football team. I'm not taking anything away from the Vikings. The Vikings are going to be they might be a playoff team this year.
Yeah, they might make the playoffs as a wild
I
card.
don't think they're as good as everybody thinks, but they're not bad. I don't think that if Green Bay, and it is in Minnesota, Green Bay struggles in Minneapolis. They always have. I just don't think Green Bay loses this game the way that they did if they played their starters in the preseason. That's just me. Aaron Rodgers looked out of sorts. Does that mean he's declining? Man, y'all are fucking dumb. Look at last year. Fucking threw 3 interceptions in the first game. He had 4 interceptions the whole year. It's one game. Let it go. Let it go.
If they don't play their starters in preseason, why he didn't just throw out Jordan Love out there on the field?
Say it again.
Why he didn't just put Jordan Love on the field if he don't play his starters in the preseason?
So bench Aaron Rodgers for the rest of the year?
Not the rest of the year, just game 1 at least.
No. Why? And then the next game it'd be the same thing.
You're still delaying.
You're still delaying.
Oh, so they don't do like little practices.
Well, they have practice, but practice isn't like game speed, man.
Oh.
No.
Only time teams get that kind of game speed is during preseason.
Or in a game.
Right.
In a game.
Yeah. During preseason and during you see them do the game speed.
If I have a starter come to me and say I'm not playing preseason because I'm a superstar, I would go to the front office and say you need to get rid of this guy. He's not a team player.
And if they don't want to do it, he's on the bench the whole year then.
Because I will tell you right now, my starters, everybody plays. Mm-hmm. They may not play the whole game, or they may play a series or 2. That's it. But they're not going to play the whole game. You'd be dumb to play your starters the whole game during preseason. But get them used to the game speed. That's all I want them to do. And that's why Green Bay struggled the last 2 years. Even though they've done it 3 or 4 years in a row, their first games, the previous 2 years were against, I think one was the Lions and one was the Bears.
Lions and Tigers and Bears, oh my.
So that's where I'll go with that. That being said, I'm not going to dwell on it. It was 1 week. I think Green Bay will be fine. It's just they have to play better. They have to get their receivers to understand all you fucking people out there there was one play and I could show it to you and I might have put it in the chat.
That's possible.
But it showed Aaron Rodgers on a rollout. And the play was supposed to go to Mercedes Lewis underneath, but the right tackle ran into him, or the left tackle ran into him, and it fucked the play up. So Aaron Rodgers was looking downfield. Well, everybody's like, oh, Christian Watson was wide open. He was wide open by 20 yards. Kurt Benkert, who was a quarterback for the Packers, said that would have been an interception. And if you look at the whole field, you can see that there was a safety sitting 10 yards, 10 to 20, about 10 to 15 yards away from Christian Watson, waiting for Aaron to throw the ball. While Christian Watson was running over the middle of the field. Here's the thing. Aaron Rodgers would have had to have stopped, thrown, or if he was throwing on the run, it was going to be a pick because his momentum was going to take the ball over towards the Vikings guy. So before you actually, put it on a stop, and it was a stop screen, the guy stopped it right at that moment. He said right here, he was like 20 yards wide open. Yeah, the safety behind him would have fucking dropped in on that and picked it off, or at least broke up the pass. So why risk it? Play another day. And I'll see if I can find it and then show it to you guys. Show it to you in the chat. But the Ravens at the Jets. Now, I was not around, but I'm going to tell you right now, from what I've seen, Ravens may very well be the best team in football right
We'll see. They still have some tough contenders on their play schedule yet, but
now. Best defensive performance of the week.
yes, it is definitely. I mean, fucking Red Zone barely showed them because there was so little drama in that game.
Mm.
The score alone says it all. 24-9.
And
Damn near a fucking shutout.
But then it's only 15. Yeah. And the thing is, it's only 15 points. But it just seemed like the Ravens had a chokehold on that game.
Oh, they did.
Like they had, it was under control. So it's like a defensive team having a 1-0 lead in hockey or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're just not going to score on them because they're choking the shit out of your offensive players. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by choking them is they can't do anything.
Right. You can't get out in your own end.
Yeah. They kept the field very, very short for the Jets. Every opportunity they got.
But then again, we are talking about the Jets. So.
And like I said, they do have tougher teams on their schedule yet. But this just might be their year to make it to the Super Bowl.
Right.
They got to stay healthy, though, because we know once the injuries of key players start happening, they screw themselves. But Lamar has done incredible work to get himself into the best shape of his life. He is up to 236 pounds now.
Is that really?
Yeah.
He's fat. 17 out of 30 for 213 yards, 3 touchdowns. He only carried the ball 6 times for 17 yards. They didn't run the ball. That's usually not a good sign for them.
Well, they still don't have Gus Edwards yet.
So. They don't have Dobbins either.
Nope. But
let's look at the Jets here. They had 37 out of 59, 309 yards. I mean, they're just really good inside the 20s, I guess. The Jets actually...
according to the stats, the Jets outplayed the Ravens.
The Ravens just...
destroyed them at any other opportunity.
Yeah. We'll see. They were opportunistic from what it seems like. The Giants beat the Titans 21-20 on a 2-point conversion play to end the game, or I think close to ending the game or whatever, last minute. Mm-hmm. The Chargers beat the Raiders despite Devontae Adams having 9 catches for 159 yards. One guy doesn't make a fucking difference. The Chiefs may very well be one of the best teams in the AFC yet again this year. 44-21. Let's look at the stats for Patrick Mahomes. Typical. 30 out of 39, 360 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Mm-hmm.
So because Tyreek Hill isn't there doesn't mean the fucking Chiefs are going anywhere. Buccaneers had a pretty good defensive performance, but apparently Dak Prescott got hurt. He's out for 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, hurt his hand.
Broke his finger, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Get him out of here.
Well, I mean, without him, Cowboys.
Exactly my
Dak
point.
Dak Prescott is overrated. I will give you that, but he is a good quarterback.
He's a good quarterback. Yes, I agree. Is he as great as everyone makes him out to be? Not really.
I think he's overrated. I can agree with that.
Yep.
Buccaneers defensively look pretty good. Green Bay will see how good they are when they play an actual offense that knows how to move the ball consistently. And I think Green Bay can, like I said, they just have to get to working together. They have to be more consistent. That's all. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I don't watch many games, and I usually don't watch many games. Usually I don't have all of the channels. I don't have the NFL ticket. So we watch Red Zone. So we get to see
Yeah.
all the touchdowns, and
Yeah,
they
exactly.
show the fourth quarter, the fourth down stands and such like that. But
Sure, the big time plays.
yeah, the plays, usually the scoring plays. If they get inside the red zone, whatever, you see it.
Or
And then
big play.
yeah, and then the Monday night game. I want to talk about this
Mm-hmm.
because I think I picked the Seahawks, and I think nope, I picked the Broncos. So the thing with the Broncos is bitched about with Zach Taylor from the Bengals last year with the calling the timeout, weird game time management.
Well, that's actually going back to the Bengals game. That's what cost them. That's why they lost. I say because they had 15 seconds left on the play clock and they punted it away. Run that freaking thing all the way down, then punt it away.
Well,
You don't lose.
I'm not even talking about that because I didn't see that game. I just know what the final score was.
Yeah, no.
But I did watch
they
the
had poor
Seahawks.
game management.
I did watch the Seahawks Broncos game. And in the same situation, the Broncos let the clock run down to kick a 64-yard field goal. You have 3 timeouts. Run a play. Get another 5 to 10 yards.
I know it's thin air in Denver, but make it easier for your kicker.
Well, I mean, he can make that because he's done it.
Yeah.
But I agree with Tim. Why put more stress on your kicker than you need to?
Bingo.
Bad coaching decision. Bad coaching decision. The coach cost the Broncos that game. Because I can honestly look and tell you, Russell Wilson, 29 out of 42, 340 yards, 1 touchdown. Geno Smith played well. I will give him 23 out of 28, 195 yards, 2 touchdowns. That almost doubled them in total yards, did the Broncos. So the Broncos just failed. The coaching cost them that game. So there's that. And that was week 1 as it was. Any really bad calls or anything?
Nothing I saw personally. I mean, I put fans into 3 categories. Your ultimate fanboys who, why is that call? Whatever. And then your ones who just let it go, and then the people who are intelligent and know what the hell they're talking about. Right. I heard people complaining that there was no pass interference called in the during the Patriots game.
Should there have been?
It was a borderline call.
So when I look at pass interference calls, I look at both players hand fighting.
Yeah.
If there is hand fighting between both players, you do not throw the flag.
No, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying if you're gonna call it, you have to call it
on everybody.
Yeah.
But
it's the consistency angle of it.
I understand the consistency angle, but if the thing with me is if both players are hand fighting, they were told not to throw the flag.
Yeah, I agree.
So if they're both this is why you're not going to see a lot of pass interference calls, because if both are hand fighting, then it's just they're fighting for the ball. At least they're fighting for the ball. Now, if the defensive back does not look back for the ball, even if he's hand fighting, and the guy is hand fighting with him, or vice versa, it should be pass interference, no matter fucking what.
it's defensive pass interference.
Well, it should be offensive pass interference the same. If the player's not going to look back for the ball, but he's sitting there hand fighting and then he pushes off, if the offensive player pushes off at all, it's pass interference. I do not care. As long as he does not extend his arms, you're fine.
Yeah.
But if he extends his arms or he pulls the player down so he doesn't catch it, it's offensive pass interference.
Yeah, exactly.
If the defensive player does not look back for the ball,
it's defensive
pass interference. But if they're both looking for the ball and they're hand fighting, and then it just becomes incidental contact, let it play.
But as we've all seen, these referees sometimes throw the flag anyways. It's like, why are you calling that?
Because referees think that they have to be a part of the game. So, and it's something that I see throughout all sports now. You get certain umpires and referees that think that they have to be a part of the game because they are part of the game, but they have to be part of the drama, especially if the game is really good. Like CB Buckner is good for that.
Mm-hmm.
He's not as bad as Angel Hernandez, but he will fucking do that. If, like, an extra inning game, he will call a strike outside of the strike zone just because it adds to the drama. Like, why? Why are you doing this? You don't need to. You've been and he was pretty consistent all game. And then when it got to extra innings, it became
all of a sudden, I'm just going to call this one a strike.
Just to add to the drama of the game that doesn't need to be added to it. It just does not need to take place. And this is happening across all sports. I mean, hockey, not so much. Hockey,
it's hard to do something like this.
Right.
I mean, I just came off of a 5-set volleyball match. What I was calling for ball handling didn't change from the first set to the fifth set.
Yeah, well, it's called consistency.
Yeah.
All referees need to remember consistency.
It's not that hard. You went to schools for this kind of thing in order to become what you are.
That's what I tell anyone I work with.
Yep.
It doesn't matter if you're calling it great or not. Just what you call it at the beginning, call it at the end. That's all there is.
Yep. That's all we ask for is consistency.
Yep. 100%.
Yep.
So that was week one in a nutshell. Go ahead.
And what drives me nuts is when people say, well, you can't call it at that point in the game.
Right.
If you called it in the first quarter, you call it in the fourth quarter.
Yep.
You call it in the first period, you call it in the third period. You call it in the first inning, you call it in the ninth inning.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Got it. And I agree with you 100%. It doesn't change. So that being said, week one is in the books. Like I said, I'm gonna leave College Corner alone because that was Bobbitt's thing. At least for this year, at least until we get to the college football playoff.
Yeah.
I
think they're going to 12 teams, they said.
No, it's still going to be 4. And if they go to 12, so dumb. It's so dumb.
There's talk about them going to it.
If they go to 12, then college football is ruined.
Yep.
That's all I'm going to say.
Well, we'll get to that when we get to that.
Yeah. So, that being said, I think that's pretty much it for week one, right? Mm-hmm. Is there anything anybody else wants to talk about or whatever?
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Oh, I wanted to make a comment.
Yeah.
Somebody said something about the Bears being a good team or whatever.
That would be me.
You can't judge based on 1 week.
Oh, the
Bears.
No. The Bears are bad.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not. They aren't as. So my point is they beat the 49ers, yes, but they beat them in I don't even know if the 49ers are that good. I may be wrong on the 49ers. I forgot that they had Trey Lance as their quarterback. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is a better quarterback than he is right now.
Yeah.
Trey Lance is a project. He's just like Jordan Love. I'm sorry to keep on this, but what? Oh,
Just like Jordan Love and
go ahead. Jordan Love. Go ahead.
Jalen Hurts is further along.
Jordan Love is a project. Jordan Love has made strides, and he looked pretty good in the preseason this year. Trey Lance is a project. It is his second year. Is he going to be the answer in San Francisco at some point? They drafted him. Did y'all see what I put? Mike Martz. Mike Martz was a terrible head coach, but he's a great offensive mind, right? Greatest show on turf. He knows quarterbacks. He made Kurt Warner into a Pro Bowl quarterback. He's what made Kurt Warner what he was.
Mm-hmm.
He is what Kurt Warner was. He was a bench guy. He was riding the bench. Mike Martz made Kurt Warner the quarterback that he is.
Yep.
His assessment of both Trey Lance and Justin Fields, dead fucking on. Dead on. Is Justin Fields is better than Trey Lance? I think that Justin Fields should have been drafted second. Because I think maybe it would have taken, he might struggle a little bit this year with the Jets too.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Justin Fields in the end will be a better quarterback. I really do. I think Justin Fields is probably going to take Chicago to places that they haven't been since 1985 at some point.
Damn.
I'm just saying.
I wasn't even born.
I was. I watched it.
That was the first WrestleMania. Shit.
That was before the first WrestleMania because it happened in January. Happened January 25th, I think.
Something like that.
Something like that. But so yeah, I don't want to. I'm not hating on Justin Fields. I said it. I have said it. I'm just saying the team as a whole, collective, Chicago's not very good.
No, they're not.
They're not. They have a good defense, but they haven't played a good quarterback yet, so we don't know. Wait until they run into Aaron Rodgers. Well, they play them this weekend. You're going to see. We're going to see if Chicago is the real deal. I don't think they are. So that's set.
Stay with them for a half.
What?
I said if they are able to stay with the Packers for a half, I'll be impressed.
Nah, they'll be able to stick with that. Green Bay, it's going to take them a week or two. It's going to take them a couple of weeks. They're using these two games as their preseason. If they lose the first two games, they're not gonna worry because the next week they play Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
So starting off with the games this week, let's see. It's got. Just give me a second. First game, tomorrow's game. Chargers at Chiefs.
Chiefs.
Tim?
I'm going to go Chargers.
I agree. The Chargers are very impressed me. They impressed me.
Mm-hmm.
Heather, you went with? Okay. Is that it? Okay. Next game. Dolphins at Ravens. We're going to find out if the Dolphins are for real, people. I'm going with the Ravens.
Nah, we about to find out if the Ravens for real.
Oh, come on.
The Dolphins are amazing. Mm-hmm.
Heather?
You see the way she looked at it?
Heather?
I'm just waiting for.
They're not a bad football team, but Baltimore's better. Tim, who do you got?
I'm going Baltimore.
Heather? Oh, Rayshawn?
Ravens.
She talks all that shit and then picks it.
Also went Ravens.
Every time.
Damn right.
Next game, the Jets at the Browns.
It's the Brown Bowl.
The toilet bowl.
What's
Tim,
the
who you got?
worst team?
Who you got, Tim?
Cleveland.
I agree.
That's the best worst? All right, let's go with the Browns.
Heather?
I went with the Jets because I don't think they're as bad as.
Well, they're bad.
I don't think they're going to be a fucking 12 and 5 team for
Yeah,
14 for the year.
You think they're better than the Browns, though?
I don't
You want to
know.
invest in that pick?
I mean, it's
It's only
fine.
week 2. I got plenty of time to catch up to everyone. Don't worry about that.
And by the way, we'll release the thing next week. I have to get Heather
Yeah, I
something.
haven't done the
I've
chart
got to do I'm going to do the chart for her so that she doesn't have
Okay.
to do the adding and stuff. But we can tell you who won last week.
yet. Or do you want to wait until after the picks are done?
Well, I'll do it after. I'll let Heather do it after the picks because you guys can do it during the fantasy shit.
There you
I
go.
call bullshit on that fucking game. Shit. It is what it is. It's one game, like I said. Yep.
I also went Cleveland.
Yep.
Yep, I got it.
Washington at Detroit.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Detroit defense kind of surprised me
Okay.
against the Eagles.
It was that bad, huh?
It was that bad.
They gave up 38 points.
I'm sorry. I'm going with Detroit on this one.
I agree. I agree.
They look like they could not be a problem, but they look like they on something.
They do not quit. I will give the Lions credit. They do not quit.
Where's the game being played?
In Detroit.
I'm going Detroit then.
You're all by your lonesome.
Okay.
Because she went with Detroit.
You mean the Commanders?
The Commanders.
Washington?
Why though? Can I ask? I don't care. I'm not going to give you a hard time. I mean, I'm going to, but you'll be all right. But go ahead. Why did
I was going to say, are you done talking so I can talk now?
Yeah.
Okay. It's just one of those things.
You just
feeling.
okay. Well, you're pulling a bobbin, huh?
Yes, I am.
So the battle of last place. Well,
not quite last place.
Well, if one team wins, they are.
Yeah.
Indianapolis at Jacksonville.
On paper, I will go with the Colts, but after last week, I'm gonna go with the Jags.
So you're going with the Jaguars. I am going to go with the Colts. Heather?
I went with the Colts because I think that was a fluke.
I agree. I don't know I think did the same thing. Tim?
I'm going to go Jacksonville.
Okay. I mean, Jacksonville doesn't quit.
No, and they have a coach that's not a complete moron.
Yeah.
Like I said, Urban Meyer isn't a moron. He's just not an NFL coach. I'll argue that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
You should be fine. It's just one of those things.
Oh, it's fine. Next game, Tampa Bay at New Orleans. Tampa Bay struggles against New Orleans. I don't. Tom Brady has trouble if it's not the playoffs against New Orleans. What do you got, Heather?
I went Bucks.
I went with the Buccaneers as well. Rayshawn?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Tampa Bay. Leonard Fournette is still on that team and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
All right.
Tim, you went with Tampa?
Yep.
Okay.
I got opposite.
Next game, Carolina at New York Giants.
Even without the stipulation.
I'm going, even without the stick, I'm still going to pick Carolina.
Yeah.
It's still like a good game. It might be a decent
It'll
game.
be a tough fought game, I think, between the two teams.
If I was to pick it, I would pick Carolina in this game.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to go with Carolina.
New England at Pittsburgh.
This one I'm having a hard time with.
Oh, I'm not. I'm going with the Steelers.
Tim?
I'm going to go New England, but I may change it before the end of the first quarter on Sunday because I don't know if Matt Jones is actually going to start or not.
Why is he hurt?
Yeah, they said he was at back spasms after
the first game.
After the Miami game.
I am going to go with New England as well. But if Mac Jones does not play, I will change my pick.
That's exactly what I'm saying too.
I wouldn't wait until after the end of the first quarter.
If you hear immediately that Mac is out,
I'm telling you right now because I'm not going to be able to tell you if Mac Jones is not playing.
I know. I'm just saying.
Right, I will be out of town, so I'm taking care of a unit this weekend. But I'm saying it right now, so everybody knows. If Mac Jones is not playing, I am changing my pick to Pittsburgh. As of right now, I am taking New England.
Yep.
Next game, Atlanta at the Rams. Next game. I mean, Atlanta might take a 14-0 lead and hold that lead until fucking 30 seconds to go in the fourth quarter and then fucking somehow lose. I went with the Rams.
Same.
Yeah, I agree.
They're not as bad as they played against Buffalo.
I mean, they did go against Buffalo, though.
No, but I think that's how good Buffalo is.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Buffalo is so good that I don't think they're as bad as how we looked against Buffalo.
Then again, I don't know how good the Rams really are. I mean, they're good, but I don't know if they're that good.
Yeah.
Seattle at San Francisco. I did go with the 49ers.
It's going to be a close game.
Depending on if San Francisco figures their shit out.
I'm going to go Seattle.
Okay.
I went with the 49ers.
Rayshawn?
49ers.
Okay. And was too hot.
Yep.
Cincinnati at Dallas. Dak Prescott is out 6 to 8 weeks.
Yes, he is. That being said, I'm going with the Bengals.
Agree.
Concur.
You got him?
Yep.
Next game is. Oh my God. Houston at Denver.
I still don't believe in the Texans. I'm going with the Broncos.
I think that's who I went with. Yep. I don't know how much I trust the Broncos.
I don't trust them either, but
and it's not the players, it's the coach.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust the coach to be down 2 points again or 1 point being down in just because his kicker can kick a 64-yarder doesn't mean you fucking run the clock, call a timeout with 3 timeouts to go. Then you have 2 and not run another fucking play. That blew my fucking mind. Like Peyton Manning was sitting there going, timeout. Call a timeout. Why are you wasting time? Call a timeout. I mean, it was 4th and 5. I can understand the thinking. Maybe if he was on the other side of the 50 to kick a field goal, but when you're on the other side of the 50 kicking a field goal of 64 yards, man.
Only one I trust to do that is Justin Tucker.
I don't even trust him. I would not do that to a guy. Especially if Justin Tucker would be like, Coach, run another fucking play. You have 2 fucking timeouts. And then I grabbed the clipboard and hit him in the back of the head with it.
Jake Elliott would have did it.
Like,
no problem.
Of all things, you are an NFL football coach. He acted like this was his first game ever. I understand it was 4th down, but you can't, just because the kicker can make a 64-yarder,
doesn't mean he will.
doesn't mean he's going to fucking nail it every fucking time. With McManus, I trust him to kick 57-yarder because that's like kicking an extra point to him. Now, this game wasn't in Denver, was it?
Oh,
It was in Seattle.
yeah, it was in Seattle.
Take a chance. If you don't get the 4th down, you're going to lose either way, you fucking moron. I don't know what he was thinking of all the blunder. I would have fired the coach. I'm like, you're going to make calls like this all year? You're fired. I can't. I would. You're going to put me in the grave before I'm 50. I'd have fired him.
Mm-hmm.
With that being said, I am going to go with the Broncos, though.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Everybody's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Broncos.
The Cardinals at the Raiders. I went with the Raiders. Rayshawn?
I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
Heather?
Just 'cause you're going with them.
I went with the Raiders also.
Tim?
Raiders.
Okay. Next game. This is the 2 Monday night games this week.
Yeah.
Are you?
Dukes.
Oh, I don't care about that game.
Bears.
Chicago
Bears gonna win, right?
Bears at Packers. I'm going with the Packers.
Bears. What?
I'm going with the
Bears.
I'm going with the Packers. They're the better team. They're favored by 9.5 points. There's a reason why they're favored by 9.5. When you only have just over 100, I don't even think they had 200 yards of offense in that game this past weekend. That says a lot to me about their offense. It's not very good. Defensively, they can stay with teams, but offensively they're bad. That's why I'm going with the Packers. I think the Packers will figure it out. And 2, they were missing Allen Lazard, which is I didn't even make excuse for that. I said the problem is they didn't play their starters in preseason. With Allen Lazard coming back, they have 2 deep threats now. Heather?
I went Packers. There's no way the Bears are beating them.
Well, I mean, there's a way the Bears can beat them, but I don't think that's going to happen. Tim, who do you got?
Green Bay.
Okay. And Rayshawn, you're sticking with the Bears, huh?
Well, hear me out now.
Oh my God.
What? I think the Bears is the best NFC North team there is in football. So with that being said, I'm gonna go with the Packers. I just don't think the Packers could beat the Bears, so I'm gonna just go with the Packers. Bears is better than the Packers, so I'm gonna go with the Packers. I see the Bears going to the Super Bowl, so I'm gonna pick the Packers.
All of you watching that are not from New York, this is what's called the New York hustle.
I really want to understand your philosophy. I really do. It makes no sense.
Exactly.
So the next game, next game is the Titans at the Bills.
Titans at the Bills. Let's go with the Bills. Why
Let's
not?
go. I'm going to go with the Bills too. Tim?
Me too.
Heather?
I went Bills.
And then the Monday night game on ABC.
Oh, yeah.
The Vikings at the Eagles.
Ooh.
If y'all don't pick the Eagles, you're dead to me.
I did pick the Eagles.
You are alive to me.
No, he didn't.
No, I did. I picked the Eagles.
Good. I'm glad you did. That's what I like to see. That's what I like to see right there. Whoa, I see Vikings. Who picked the Vikings? I would like to switch my pick from the Ravens.
The Vikings are a pretty good team. I think, like I said, we'll see. Tim, who do you got?
I'm going with the Eagles.
I'm going Minnesota.
Okay.
Oh, Tim? No.
It's okay. This is okay. Can I ask why you're going with the Vikings?
They are off. They have the offense to keep up with Philly, and I think the defense is a little better than Detroit's personally.
Well, I mean, yeah. But the thing with the Eagles is they run the ball. How good is Minnesota at stopping the run? Green Bay didn't even try to run the ball.
That was their biggest downfall.
So Minnesota relies on their pass rush.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't get pressure, they usually don't win. Now, I'm not saying you're wrong because Green Bay didn't try to run the ball, but that's why I went with the Eagles, because they can run the ball and will run the ball more than they throw it.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to have to. You're going to have to slow down that pass rush. And the only way to slow down that pass rush is quick screen passes. Something Green Bay did not fucking do this past weekend.
Mm.
Quick screens and running the ball. They ran the ball, I think, like 12 times. You ain't winning an NFL game just running the ball 12 times. You have to run the ball more than that. That's another reason why Green Bay lost. They didn't run the ball. And all of this smoking screen window dressing that Green Bay does, they didn't do that. It's another reason. They didn't force Minnesota into things that would open things up for Green Bay. And that is partly on coaching, but a lot of it has to do on coaching because he didn't play his starters in the preseason because they didn't get any momentum or fluidity going. And that's where I had an issue with Green Bay. That being said, anything else you guys want to talk about? Anything you want to rant about?
No, I did my rant.
Heather, anything you want to talk about? That being said, I'm going to give it up to Heather, and you guys can talk fantasy football. I am going to go. I'm going to sit right over here, and watch the Brewers. Because Wendy took control of my TV in the living room. So.
Give me a moment to get logged into the fantasy here.
Fantasy.
Uh-huh. Come on, Yahoo. I'm sure it's just as bad as NFL.com one with all the fucking ads it runs. Alright, it's...
Try streaming a game off of that. Horrible.
Look at her.
No. Just go to league.
I had to go to
I'm sorry. Go to matchups. I'm sorry.
Huh?
Go to matchups.
Alright. Last week's recaps. I beat JP.
Come on now.
Yeah, in all seriousness, leader of the league this week is... That's what I'm trying to do.
They're right here.
I know, I'm looking at it. Damn. Cody beat everybody with a score of 998 this week. Why do you just go? This is why I can't do a show with either of them in here. Second highest score of the week was 908.5 by NG. And then we got Tim with 784.5, followed by Trek, surprisingly. Oh, wait, no.
Wait, hold on. What are we talking
Yeah,
about?
fantasy football.
Sean had
I thought
858.
Yeah, I know. I skipped over that because I'm getting distracted by everybody. Do you want to take over then?
I'm waiting for a chair to go flying.
Well, eventually. All right. So first matchup with the highest score was Cody with 998 beating Tim with 784.
Mm-hmm.
Then we got NG beating Bobbitt's team with 908.5 to 641. Then we have Rayshawn beating Trek with 858.5 to Trek's 756.7. And then I bring up the end here with 715 to JP's 555.
Oh, I did want to make a mention of one thing. I changed the touchdowns for quarterbacks and receivers.
So the scores I'm reading on the sides here are the updated scores for the
Yeah.
changing of it.
Gotcha.
It was my mistake because, and I just want to explain to everyone, it was my mistake because I was thinking quarterback to receiver, each one should get 3 points, but then I'm like, I'm a dumbass because not everybody has the same player on the same team. If that makes sense. So you understand what I'm saying?
Not everyone has a quarterback receiver combo.
Correct. So I just put it back to 6 and 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
And add completions. That's it. You're good.
Okay. So with that being said, make sure your lineups are all set.
Did you? Who had the highest like differential? The highest differential is that one. Biggest blow in the week. I'm just trying to help you. That's all.
Biggest blowout of the week, according to Yahoo, is NG's team with a 267.5 point difference between his and Bobbitt's team.
Now remember, we had Bobbitt's team playing. I played Bobbit this week, so whoever wants to go in and change shit, go ahead. I'm not going to do it. But he's got a lot of injured reserves. His team, which is why he didn't score a lot of points. So if you want to fix that, go ahead.
And top player props go to Patrick Mahomes.
Is that really? How many points did he have?
Mm-hmm.
Look. How many completions did he have? So we have 30, 390, 420. He had like 420 points. Oh, plus he had 5 yards. So he had like, well, he had over 400 points for the day. So whoever had Patrick Mahomes was.
NG had Patrick.
Alpha has
He had
Mahomes.
400. He had 440 points for the week.
Yeah.
So, goddamn Alpha.
It's a good pick. But then again, he played against shitty teams. So.
Yeah.
I don't think Patrick Mahomes would do that every week. Tom Brady had a bad week. But then again, Dallas' defense wasn't too bad.
No, it wasn't. So make sure your lineups are set for this week.
By tomorrow.
Yes, tomorrow is the next game. So make sure it is set before the games start. Otherwise, you will not be able to adjust anything.
I just finished balancing my team.
Uh-huh. Kyle Fuller on the Ravens. If anybody has him on their team, he is injured and out indefinitely for the season, so drop him right now.
Ooh.
As for last week's pick scores, Cody, I'm sorry, but you gotta pick a little better.
6 and 10, motherfucker. Plus the 1 freebie. That's not good. It's good, man.
The one who did the best this week was actually Trek.
Really?
Yeah. He had 12 and 4.
Okay, Truck.
And then we have 3 people who did 11 and 5, which was JP, Rayshawn, and Alpha.
Of course.
Then I come in at 8 and 8. And Tim, you finish out with 7 and 9.
Ouch.
Mm. So let's hope everybody does better this coming week.
Let's hope the Tickers have their heads on straight this week.
Right?
God, I've never seen that bad of a performance.
Now remember, we're not doing the picks for prizes again this year because we can't afford to.
Yeah.
We're just having fun with it.
We'll get it back. I might send you something. I will probably send you something. So don't fret. If I win, we'll get something for sure. I'm not going to do that.
It'll be a picture of JP.
It'll be a picture of me.
In the Shawn Michaels pose.
Okay, now.
With the cheese head on.
I want that sign.
With just a Packer hat.
Just tell me what you want off of the store, and I'll get it for you and send it to you.
All right, with that being said, I think we're going to end the show here. Over on the Horny Goat tonight, we are playing Ghost Recon again. So, Tim, if you want to come in, have fun, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I got to work tonight. I can't.
Okay. So, join us over there at 10:30 Central Time, usual time, and we shall have some fun killing some pixels. Until then, have a good night, and we will see you next week, folks.
Hello.
If Connor doesn't drive you off a cliff.
Hello.